All right, guys. So tonight we have my really good friend, Megan Saienni, who is going to host our team call. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her, and she can tell you way more because, it's her story. But her and I recently just met, almost a year ago, but back in August because our boys were going to school together. We live in the same town, and Brian and her knew each other because they went to high school together. But I hadn't known of her before that. Well, I did because I stalked her Facebook a little bit and watched her journey as a coach. But we met, we started hanging out, and the more I got to know her, the more I was like, wow, this is so awesome that someone from a totally different team that lives in our small little town, we can both still be successful with our own people. They're not really crossing paths. And the help that she has given me, and I'm not even a part of her team. I wish I could say I've been helping her, but she knows way more than I do. So let me see. Can everybody mute their lines, I guess, except for Meg? Or maybe, does everybody know how? Okay.
If you go into participants at the bottom, since you're the host, you can mute everyone yourself.
Oh, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. I was wondering how to do that. Okay. So she's really taught me a lot about, just because we're on different teams doesn't mean don't be afraid of other coaches. Don't, not befriend them. Really, we're all just sharing the same stuff. It's all about duplication. There's really no reason to feel like you can't reach out to someone outside your own team, which is what's meant the most to me because she's really helped me with that. So close down your Facebook browsers, pull out your notepads, take notes. Meg is she's been a coach for maybe a month, over 2 years, and she is a combined 7-star premier coach. She went to Summit for the first time last July in Nashville and went as a 2-star diamond. She finished the year 2015 out as a combined 7-star full-time earning income. So she has done all that while working full-time, taking care of her house, taking care of her little boy who she's been home with, and, hasn't skipped a beat, but also hasn't, given up her entire life to make this lifestyle. So go ahead, Meg.
Sure. Okay. So hi everyone. Thanks for having me on here. So yeah, like Meg said, that's kind of like my story in a nutshell. I will just elaborate a little bit more on it, but basically, I guess it was like 2 years and a month ago, I became a coach, but I feel like my whole journey into this started even sooner than that. So we had my son in 2013. And I worked a job at a cardiology office. If you guys are local to Delaware, I worked for Cardiology Physicians in Newark, Delaware. And it wasn't anything special. It wasn't a really great job or anything. I made $40,000 a year, and I didn't even take their benefits because they were shitty. So I was on my husband's, and my husband had a decent job at the time at Capital One, but neither of us had, combined we did okay, but neither one of us had anything really to brag about. And when we had my son, I just really wanted to be home with him. It was killing us. Jason and I were both raised by stay-at-home moms, but we also were both raised by parents that were able to provide for us in private school and things like that. And if we took my income away, we weren't going to have that. So it was just awful, and it was scary. And the whole time I was pregnant, I was just saving money wherever I could squeeze it out. Any 50, I had a baby account. And if I could squeeze out $25 somewhere, I was moving it over to the baby account. I had halted any and all spending, any and all indulgences, vacations, anything like that. I was saving all my vacation time. It was my entire world just stopped. And it was just all about saving and all about the baby. And we came to the decision that when we had him, I was going to go out on maternity leave so that I could keep getting paid. But I was going to quit my day job, and we were just going to use the savings that we had and just ride it out for as long as we could. And we didn't ride it out for very long because it was so uncomfortable, and we just weren't used to living like that, and I hated it. So what I did was, after 6 weeks, I went back to work. I'm a licensed esthetician. I went back to work part-time at a salon I had worked at, Fabrizio's, and I was working Monday nights, and I was working every other Saturday. But that money was so terribly inconsistent. Like there were days where if like people canceled, I made $0. Like if I had like 3 facials on my book on Monday night and they all canceled, or like we were out of a product, like there was just always something going on. And like there were times where I literally had 0 paychecks and I was still going and sitting in the salon, and I had to have like my mom come over and like babysit. And I would literally just sit there and like not get paid. So that was terrible, and it just wasn't working out. And if any of you have ever worked in a salon, they're a really crappy, like, dynamic. Yeah, Emily, you just raised your hand. So you know what I mean. Like, the salon world is intense. So it was, like, a really negative, like, atmosphere. And I was like, okay, great. Like, now I got to quit this job, too. And, like, now we're taking even another step back. So I was back home again. And, like, the worst thing that could possibly happen happened. My husband got laid off from Capital One, and we were like, shit, like, what are we going to do? And I was just so scared that I was going to have to go back to work. So at that time, I had absolutely no business dropping $160 on a challenge pack, but I was 50 pounds heavier. I was starting to get depressed. My husband and I were fighting, and we had no idea what we were going to do for income. So my coach, Angela, is one of my best friends in the whole wide world. I had been watching her forever and ever and ever. And when she became a coach, I was like a full-blown hater. I was like, this is so ridiculous. Like, your shake is so stupid. I can't even look at this right now. Oh my God, you just did burpees on the internet. Like, I just was like such a hater. And it was because I was just so unhappy with my life and my situation that obviously misery loves company. And I just felt the need to have to hate on it. So finally I broke down and I reached out to her, and she had been talking to me about coaching, and she had been talking to me about, you know, T25 and Shakeology and all these things forever. And I would always be like, just stop. No, like, no. And I was like, if you think that I'm in a position to drop $130 a month on shakes, like, you've lost your mind. Do you not know me? Like, do you see my situation? It's terrible. So finally, after like many conversations, I started on the 21-day fix. I actually was in the very first ever 21-day fix group. Like, I did T25 before the fix started. She gave me her T25, and I did that in the basement, and I lost like 30 pounds. And then when the 21-day fix rolled out, she finally convinced me to sign up as a coach after basically giving me like a month's supply of Shakeology too. Like, I borrowed a program from her. She loaned me her shake. She just really tried to help me, like, genuinely wanted to help me. And she did. So I signed up as a coach, and I got these like amazing results, and people just started noticing. But when that happened, if you guys like are local to Delaware, like Megan and I, in college, I was a bartender at Chesapeake Inn. So when my husband got laid off, and right when I signed up as a coach, I went back to bartending full time. It was awful. I worked 5 nights a week. On Fridays and Saturdays, I worked until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I would get up at 7:30 in the morning with my 6-month-old baby. And then during the week, I would work until about midnight or 1 o'clock, and I would go in at 4. And it was awful. The money was like decent, but I was so tired, like so tired. It was just awful. And we had like no family time, and we were stressed. And, you know, I was trying to pick up as many shifts as possible because my husband was just applying for job after job after job after job, and like wasn't even getting like interviews or anything. And it was just like chaos around here. I know Megan can relate to this. It was really hard for me to treat this like a business while he was home. Like, it was like almost impossible because like the kids running around, and then the husband's running around, and like everyone's talking to me, and I'm tired. And it was just like super crazy town around here. So in the beginning, I did not give this the attention that I should have, or that it deserved. And it took me 4 months to go Emerald. And I now sign anywhere from like 6 to 9 coaches a month. And the reason it took me 4 months to go Emerald, as opposed to how I can sign 6 to 9 coaches a month now, has nothing to do with like me being anything special or me being any different than anyone else on this call. It's that I do the right stuff every day now. And like, I give this like the focused attention that it deserves. And it's just like, coaches ask me all the time, like, what do you think has like made you successful in this business? It's my consistency. When I was working full time, I was like all over the place, like struggling, and I was hitting Success Club with these like amazing Success Club numbers because I had this like amazing transformation story. And the one thing I was really good at doing consistently at the time was sharing that on social media. So like number one, like if you do nothing else, like it should be one of the vital behaviors, like social media. You have to be consistent on social media. Like it's just not up for debate. It's just not. That's something that I always did right. And that's how I was able to go on to be a Success Club All-Star legend, because I shared. And in the beginning, I just shared for my own accountability, really. I mean, I just shared what I was doing. I was just putting it out there because I needed the world to know so that I wouldn't fall off the wagon. And it just, it just baby stepped over time. My biggest regret is not doing the right thing sooner, because when I think about all the time that I lost and all the progress I could have made in the beginning by just like farting around with it and not like getting serious and like getting down to work, I think I lost time. And that really upsets me, because I think about how, I have this amazing income now and this huge team and this, great success, and I'm a premier coach. I mean, I know I could have been an elite coach. I know that I could have had these elite bonuses. I know I could have had things that I don't now, because I didn't treat this like a business from the very beginning. I treated it like a hobby. So, in the beginning, I had mastered Success Club and I went Emerald. And then, basically after that, I just made a point to make sure that Success Club was my non-negotiable. Like I knew from all the trainings I had plugged into and everything that, I had done and read and researched, that if there was no Success Club, there was going to be no growth in your business. There was going to be no people that you're attracting, no potential coaches, no volume, no duplication with your coaches. I mean, I have a huge team and we have a ton of coaches on my team that hit Success Club. And it all starts by me just like modeling that and like setting that example for my coaches. Like if I didn't hit Success Club, my coaches wouldn't be overly motivated to hit Success Club. So it's just that whole like you need to lead by example type mentality. So I knew that I always had to do what I was going to expect of the coaches that I bring on underneath me. So if you want selling coaches who are going to hit Success Club every month, you need to figure out how to do that for yourself. So that's where I kind of shifted my focus after I became an Emerald coach. And I plugged into as many trainings as I possibly could. I did not rely on my coach to do it for me after that. If I found an area I was struggling with or something I needed to improve on, or personal development or whatever, like I got on YouTube and I just would listen to call after call after call after call. And not like while I'm home with my son running around, like while I was driving in the car, I would put on a call. I listen to a call pretty much every time I'm alone in the car. I don't know what it is. If I don't have anything in mind that I want to listen to, I just go to YouTube and type in like a coach's name and just like hit something. So I started doing that. I started making sure that I was offering the coach discount to every single person that I signed on as a challenger. And that was a huge shift in my business. That's basically how I ended up going diamond. And by signing my spouse. Signing my spouse was probably one of the best things I could have done as far as my income was concerned, because so I signed up as a coach in April, and I went Emerald in April, May, June, in July. And then I didn't go diamond until November. So what's that, like 8 months? 8 months. And I went diamond by signing up my husband. And then I went to start qualifying in March, which was amazing because I was able to build my husband's account to diamond. And then you get a second CBC. And when you can place that second CBC on your weak leg, like underneath your husband as well, your income will blow up like you wouldn't believe. Like I basically make, if I sell a 21-day fixed challenge pack right now, and I sell it out of my second business center, I make $86 a challenge pack. So that right off the bat is like a huge pay increase. You get the 2-star bonus, which is a huge pay increase. And you get resources. So that's the other thing. Like Diamond, it's funny because like everyone's like striving for Emerald and you're like, yay, I went Emerald. And like, now what? And like next is Diamond, and Diamond seems like super, super duper like far away. Like Emerald is an awesome rank. Like people who go Emerald are serious about the business and they're doing a lot of things right. They're probably hitting Success Club and they're probably offering the coach discount to people and they're getting attention, which is awesome. And then, like I said, Diamond seems so far away. But when you finally get to Diamond, that's when things are starting to get like more serious. That's when things are starting to get real. That's when you're starting to build like a team cycle bonus. That's when you're starting to have coaches underneath you that are working and like building volume for you and hitting Success Club, and then they're bringing coaches on. And it doesn't seem like much at the time, and it's really hard to see like the vision of all that is possible in this business. But like when I look back 2 years ago and now, like it's mind-blowing. And it's all because after I finally became an Emerald coach, I made that shift to make sure that I gave this like focused attention every day. And that's basically the power hour. Like all you need to do to be successful in this business is have a really focused power hour. You guys are in an amazing downline. You guys are in Michelle Meyer's downline. She is like the bomb.com. I saw her live in LA. And I saw her live at Platinum Edge, and she has amazing resources for you guys. So when you see like top coaches who are putting out all these crazy like trainings and resources and things like that, like you don't need to do those yourself to be successful. You just need to use them. Like you just need to use those resources. So like I have some really awesome, I'm just now 2 years into this, starting to develop things like trainings and push groups and stuff like that, because I was reliant on my upline. And that's fine because I had like business building to do. So use your upline is another like huge, huge, huge piece of advice I have for you guys. Like don't feel like you need to do it all. Here's what you need to do. You need to be a product of the product. You need to share it and you need to invite people. And that's it. Like that's all you need to worry about. Like you guys are still a relatively young team. Like Megan is just now like stepping into like a major leadership role with you guys because your team is like gaining this like awesome momentum. But like with you guys, I would just focus solely on like that business activity tracker and nothing else. And I wish that's what I had worried about like 2 years ago when I first started. That's the time that I wasted because I would just get on the computer and be like, okay, I'm going to just like do a little post about a challenge group. And it's 12:45 on a Tuesday, which is like the world's worst time for me to ever post anything. And I would just like throw it up there and I'd be like, oh, I got 4 likes. Cool. And like, it's funny because like my time hop will come around and I see these posts that I put up and I like cringe. I'm like, oh my God. Like I put that on the internet. Like, what is the matter with me? But like, I didn't have like a focused workflow. And that is like the biggest thing I can hammer into you guys. So your workflow and the attention that you give this business is going to be just like your workouts. So when you are like committed to one of our programs, like let's say you're going to do Insanity Max 30 in June, what do? You have your workout calendar. You know exactly what you're going to do every single day. You know exactly where you stand for the next 60 days. You're going to show up every day and you're going to give it just the 30 minutes that it deserves. You're going to figure out where it fits into your day. And if you do that every day for 60 days, you're going to have amazing results. The same thing is the case with your business. If you just show up and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like the challenge du jour. Oh, it's Brazilian butt lift. That's not even a real workout. I guess I'll do it anyway because that's kind of the mood I'm in right now. And then like halfway through it, you're like, this is stupid. And I turn it off. And you only do that 3 days a week. Like you're going to get half-ass results. So the same thing goes for your business. Figure out where in your day you can give this the focused attention it deserves. For me, it's from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every single morning. I get up at 6 a.m. and I come downstairs and I get on the computer and I get out my business activity tracker. It's right here and it's nothing special. It's just this shitty piece of paper. It's a mess. My son drew all over it. Look. colored all over it. This is all I need to do to run my business. This and my MacBook. I don't have fancy files. I don't have a beautiful whiteboard. I don't have a fancy lamp with a microphone like you see these other coaches. And I literally just get out this form and I check it off. And then I throw it in a folder and I've never pulled them back out again when the week is over. But every day from 6 to 7 a.m., I make sure that I know when I'm going to drink my shake and I know when I'm going to get my workout in and I know what that workout's going to be. And then I make sure that I think about when I'm going to do my personal development. So if I'm not going to be alone in the car that day where I can listen to it, I think to myself, like, okay, can I listen to it while my son's in the tub, or can I listen to it while I'm making dinner, or whatever. I figure out where I'm going to fit that in each day. And then I log into my Coach Online office and I look to the right and I make sure that I know what the hell is going on in Beachbody Land. I make sure I know that Orange Recover has released, and I make sure I know that there's a sample workout of Country Heat coming tomorrow, because you want to be in the know with our products and our company. I get an idea of what my day is going to be like, and I get an idea of kind of what I want to post that day. I post 3 times a day: fitness, lifestyle, motivation. So like tomorrow, we're going on a field trip for school. That's going to be my lifestyle post. I'll grab some picture of the kids, or me and Luca, or me and the girls, or whatever. That'll be my lifestyle post. I'll probably do like a post-workout sweaty selfie type thing, and then maybe I'll throw up like a recipe or a quote or something funny or a link or a scary mommy or whatever it is. But I kind of map it out. Like I think to myself like what my day is going to be like and what kind of posts I could want to do and when. I add my 2 to 5 new contacts. I do that in literally 10 seconds. Like I either go to people you may know, or I go into a group that I'm in, or I go over to my like page and see if anybody liked on my post who I can like add as a friend. I send my 2 to 5 invites to a challenge group. I literally copy paste that. I send my 2 to 5 invites to the business. I literally copy paste that. And then I check in on my challenge groups and I go through and I just really quickly comment and like on everybody's posts. And then I put up my post for the day in my challenge group. And then when that's done, I go into my messenger and I go to the bottom, not the top, not the first message that's there waiting for me, the most recent. I go to the bottom and I work from the bottom up. So like the oldest message. Because it's really easy to let like messages get backed up. And then I do that basically until my son wakes up. I just sit there and I message and message and message and message. Like, and that's what I do every day. And that's it. I don't do anything else unless I've done this. And I teach my team to do the exact same thing. My team of new coaches and Emerald coaches and me, we do the same exact stuff. Like it doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter if you're a trainer. It doesn't matter if you have 6-pack abs. It doesn't matter if you still have 50 pounds to lose. It doesn't matter who you are. Like just carving out the time to do the right daily activities is what's going to make or break a successful coach. It's going to be the coach that does those things every single day without skipping a beat. And like I said, it's like the same activities that I teach my team. It's not anything different. The work that I do, or Jody does, or Ashley does, or Emily does, or Carrie does, like it doesn't matter where you are. The only thing I have different than you guys is more time in the business, and maybe I'm a little bit more decorated than you guys, but like I wasn't this decorated a year ago and I still got to where I am. Nobody's going to come into you. Nobody's going to want to join. How did I say this yesterday? Nobody is ever going to come to you and be like, you know what? I could really use like an extra $100,000 a year. So you don't have to already be successful to be able to grow a team. It doesn't work like that. That's like really unrelatable. What people can relate to is gas money, grocery money, a discount, extras, spending money, vacation money, car payment, mortgage. Like people can relate to wherever you are. Like people are going to relate to you. So, you know, it's so important to be consistent doing all this stuff and sharing everything that this opportunity has to offer. It's so much more than just workouts. I mean, there's so many levels and layers to this business, and there really is something for everyone, and it just needs to be shared and shared and shared and shared and shared and shared every way possible. And like your reach of people just needs to get like greater and greater and greater and greater and greater. And if you do all the stuff that's on this form every day, it'll happen. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that, people watch for a while. Like, how many of you have had people reach out to you and they've been like watching you or thinking about it for like 3, 4, 5 months? I mean, for me, it was like a year. I watched my coach for a year. And then when I signed up, it was for the discount. And now she has me sitting beautifully for volume for her with my team. I mean, it's like incredible. And it makes me really happy. But I mean, if there's any advice that I can give you guys, it's to be consistent. And, just like your workouts, it's always really tempting to just skip it. Like, it's the temptation to just not do it is always there. And that's why I do it at 6 a.m. every single morning. Like, I just get up, I get it done, and then I go about my day. And, when I worked and I finally figured out that this was like what I needed to do, it was a conversation I had to have with my husband, and we figured out when the right time to fit it in was going to be. And, I put limits on it. No one should be like tied to your phone, like working. Like, oh my God, I got a message. Like, it can wait. No one's going to die if you don't send them a link for a challenge pack. And like, if they want to work with you, they're going to work with you. Newsflash. You can get this stuff on Amazon. So if somebody is having a conversation with you, you don't have to drop everything, ignore your family, stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, things can carry over into the next day. Turn off your notifications on your phone. Don't let it distract you, and just carve out that time each day to be consistent with this. Because before I did that, this kind of stressed me out. Like, I found it to be kind of like a stressor and like a huge distraction. And when I really like narrowed it down and got like focused, that was a big game changer, not just for like the productivity of my business and the growth of my business, but for my family and myself and my mentality. And, just making it a priority. And when I made it a priority and I put limits on it, my business it turned into so much more than I ever could have imagined, to the point where I worked at Chesapeake from, let me think, I guess I had a full-time income by like December. Chesapeake ended in November. And by December, I guess by January, I had a full-time income with Beachbody. I had replaced my full-time income with cardiology physicians, which was really awesome. And then, I've since like quadrupled that. But when Chesapeake came around this year and they asked me if I wanted to work, I was like, nope, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. I'm just going to work from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day, and then log back on at nap time and check in on my friends and my coaches. But it's kind of a lot of information. I feel like I was kind of rambling. Rabbit holes. I don't know what a rabbit hole is. Does anyone have any questions? Like, you guys can really kind of ask me anything about kind of like how I do things or my processes, like, or if you want to share with me like something that you're struggling with, I can kind of help you with that.
I invite everyone to ask a question.
I know, I'm going to call on somebody.
I do have something.
I thought you were going to ask a question because you did a lot of hand raising. And
I did. Well, I've recently, I hit Emerald in January, and then I struggled February and March, and then April really had like, just from being consistent with posting and being consistent with reaching out to people. Like, I have had people, obviously just because they're coming out of the woodwork doesn't mean they're all signing challenge packs, but they're interested and we're talking, and that's awesome. So I'm good with that. And it's, my business has definitely changed significantly over the last 2 months because I'm being consistent. My problem now is that I'm amazing at signing challengers, but I am, for some reason, the discount does not seem to make people want to sign as a discount coach. Like, I don't know what it is, but I know that that's where I am struggling. And I know you said you're signing tons of coaches every month. So what do you feel is working for you when the discount isn't enticing enough to at least get them to sign up for the discount, not necessarily the business if they think they're not ready to do that?
So are they staying on Shakeology but not?
That's the crazy thing. Like, so they're getting the club discount, and I'm like, that's great. Get the club discount. That's still helpful to my business. But at the same time, it's even more helpful if you're a coach and you're getting, I guess it ends up being about the same as the club discount, but I don't know. I think part of it is the word coach that is probably intimidating, and I need to change my lingo with regards to that. Molly and I talked about that. But like, just in general, like, what can you suggest or what tips can you offer with regards?
I definitely don't say coach. Like and I don't ask, I kind of tell. So what'll end up happening is, if I sold a challenge pack today, it's May 24th. I will go to the calendar and I'll look at like June 24th and I'll count back like 5 days. So like June 19th, and I'll bring up my Apple calendar and I'll write the customer's name down. And then I know to like follow up with them and let them know their shake's going to ship. So on that day when I log in, I'll say, hey, Jody, I just wanted to let you know, remind you that in 5 days your Shakeology is going to ship back out. Like, do you wish to receive it? If you need to modify it or cancel, let me know. I can help you with that as well. Like, one-liner. And then they will write me back and be like, oh my God, I love it. Definitely staying on it. Probably want to get cafe latte or, whatever they say. And I say, oh, okay, awesome. We need to sign you up for the discount then. And like, that is like my one-liner. And they're like, oh, really? What's that? I'm like, well, you'll get your shake for $99. And you'll also get 25% off any future programs. I don't know if you're interested in moving on to like Fix Extreme, or my next challenge group is going to be like Max 30 or whatever. Or if you're interested in a 3-day refresh, but you would get a discount on all that stuff going forward. And like, if you had friends or family that were interested, you could buy for them with your discount as well. Like, I just kind of like, I don't get into coaching with them like at all. Like, I don't call it a coach. Like, I just say like, we need to sign you up for the discount. And then honestly, I say it with such confidence and simplicity that most people write me back and say, sounds great. How do I do that? Like, I don't write them like a paragraph novel about like the price breakdown and like all that shit. Like, people just want simplicity. They're like, oh, okay, I'm going to save money. Okay, cool. Like, how do I do it? Like, just simplify it. Like, I guarantee that you're probably saying too much, and they're probably looking at it like, okay, this seems weird. Like when oh my God, I asked an Burden and Fields rep for an eye cream once, and she literally sent me back like a case study, and I didn't read it, and I didn't buy the eye cream because I was like, I can't read this. Jesus Christ. Like, oh my, like no, like I'm so overwhelmed. And she sent me like 30 pictures to look out of eyes. And I was like, okay, this is just all too much. I just want an eye cream. You know what I mean?
So, so kind of like a tail add on to that. So when you're signing your coaches that originally signed as challenge group members rather than as a coach initially, do you always have them buy a challenge pack, or do you like, what do you do if somebody's like, well, I don't really want another program. I want to stick with Fix still. I'm not ready to move on.
Oh, then I just tell them to pay the $40 one-time fee, and then once it's done, I'll get it reimbursed back to them in 1 to 2 business days.
Okay.
And then once I see that they've signed up, I send them the instructions. It's literally a copy-paste to my team page. I can probably drop it right here.
So I was just going to say, is that the same thing you would say if you sent them the link to sign up as a coach and they came back and were like, I'm going to sign up as a coach. I got to give my social security number. Would you just
I don't address it until I've sent the link. And then I'll say to them like, yeah, technically you're a coach just like me, but I have and I'll give them like what I say often. And if you don't have a lot of coaches, this might not work for you. So just talk about how many coaches are in your downline. So like, I know Megan can probably get you that figure, but like I have about 50 discount coaches. So I'll say to like the person who's signing up, I'll be like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, they do need your social security number because technically you're signing up as a coach like me, but I have about 50 others who do it this way, and it's strictly for the discount. Don't worry. Like, I'm not going to try and get you to sell anything if you don't want to. And then the conversation kind of then will transition, because then sometimes people will come back to me and be like, well, what if I did have people that were interested? And then they're saying it to me instead of me saying it to them, kind of thing, But it all starts with the discount. So it should all start with trying to serve the customer. Like, it's our job to put the best product and the best price into the customer's hands. So like, we can't be afraid to do that. The best price on our products is with the coach discount. So we have to at least offer it. And if they say no, they say no. But offer it, and offer it in a simplistic way. Don't offer it in a way where you basically have to send them a spreadsheet for them to understand it, because that's just going to shut them down. You know, like, oh, here it comes. Here comes the catch. She's trying to get me, you know.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else?
I was going to ask you a question about, you said you're inviting for the day. I know we've talked about inviting before, and you said in the beginning, like, you didn't invite, and now you were like, I just literally copy and paste. But I know that you don't just like spam people like that Rodan and Fields person did to you. So what is it that you're like?
So what I do a lot of the time, so I'm really good at like adding to my network every day. If you guys aren't adding to your network every day, you're not going to have people to invite, you know? So like those 2 to 5 friends that we're supposed to add, that adds up to a lot of people. If you just did 2 every day, you've added 60 people that month. 60. And, you know, those are 60 people that you could be reaching out to. So, you know, you'll hear Beachbody talk about like the 1 in 10 rule and like go for no and like that kind of thing. So you have to talk, it's like 1 in 10. You have to be talking to 10 people to get a yes. You're going to get 10, you're going to get 9 no's for every 1 yes. So, you know, you add those 60 people, you reach out to every single one of them, you're going to probably sell 6 challenge packs, you know, if you think of it like that. So the way I'll reach out to people is I add to my network, I do 5. So that's 150 people a month. Like, that's 150 people a month. That's why I'm able to hit Success Club 10 and higher every single month, because I'm always bringing in a new audience to my content. And, you know, you can be adding to your network till you're blue in the face. You could add 500 friends to your network this month, but if you're not sharing on social media to back that up, you know, consistently 3 times a day with the fitness, the lifestyle, the motivation, they're not going to have any clue what you're up to. Like, no one's, you know, nobody's going to reach out to you and be like, hey, can I join your team if you don't ever post about coaching? You know what I mean? So that's never going to happen. So I add to my network. And as these new followers that I'm bringing in start to like and comment on my posts, I'll reach out to them. And I usually reach out to them initially about the content of the post. So if it's like a mom post, I'll start a conversation about like motherhood. If it's a fitness post, I'll start a conversation about fitness. If it's a food post, I'll start a conversation about food. So I try and reach out to them and connect with them based off what attracted them to me, and kind of start there, because that's like our commonality. And then I'll always go take a peek at their Facebook page first. And I do probably like 10 to 20 of them a day. And the post itself, so what'll end up happening is like, so let me look at my page right now, just to give you like an example. Okay, so a post that I did today was a professional picture of my son. We just had a photo shoot, and he's like swinging in the swing. And I wrote, my heart literally just skipped a beat. 39 people liked that post. So I'll click on it, and I'll scroll through. And if there's no one that I've talked to before, or it's like a new person, or, you know, a new neighbor, or whatever it is, I'll send them a little message and be like, hey, thank you so much for liking my post. The pictures turned out really good. It makes me giggle because my son's behavior during the photo shoot was horrific. Like, so I'll try and just like start like a little conversation, something that I think people could relate to. Because if someone who's a mom who likes a picture of my son swinging on a swing, they're going to giggle to themselves because they know what I mean. Like, he behaved so bad. It's so funny. I have these beautiful family portraits that were taken, and all I can think about is how I got like smacked in the face, and he had like a full-on temper tantrum. He's like throwing grass at the photographer. And so like, that's like a little side conversation I can start with people, and that starts kind of building the relationships. And then if you're consistent with social media, you'll be surprised how many of your conversations that start off that way will turn into health and fitness, because they'll either just ask you, or you'll find a way to interject it. That's why I'd be like, and that is why I make sure I work out every day, because if I didn't, I would be in a mental institution. you know, like you can find a way to like interject you into your conversations with people. And that's what I do every day. It's like a business built wholeheartedly on relationships. It's tricky. And it took me a lot of time to figure this out. But once I figured it out, I'm like on a roll with it now. Like it's very easy. It sounds time consuming, but it's easy. So my point is that post, if there's like, let's say 6 people that I'm going to reach out to from that post, they're probably all going to get a very similar message. So I'll just copy paste and I might say like, hey, so-and-so, I really liked your wedding pictures from last weekend. Or, hey, were you just in Bethany? We're heading down there in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for liking my post the other day, by the way. You know, like I may interject like one line in the beginning to try and make it a little more personal. But when you copy paste like that and you just start like going down the line, it's done really quickly. I mean, don't you feel like you can do it really quickly too, Meg, now? Like you're inviting?
It's getting a little bit harder. But yeah. But I mean, I'm over a year and a half in, so for you guys, it shouldn't be that hard yet.
Well, and I do like and when I say you only need to do 2 to 5, like you really, to be successful in this business, you really only need to do 2 to 5 people. I do more because I have humongous goals right now, like huge. Like at the beginning of the year, I wanted to go for top 10, and that isn't happening. But I had really big goals, so I was overdoing the daily activities basically. So this is the stuff. I mean, this is the stuff right here. What makes the difference between like a top 10 coach and us is they do more of this, but they do the same stuff. Like they're just willing to talk to more people and they're willing to get theirself in front of more people. That is the only difference. It's not skill. It's not intelligence. It's not anything. It's just that they manage to put what we do in front of the eyes of more people than we do. And that's all there is to it. There's no special way that they say it or anything like that. It's just they do it. Let's do more of it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you talk, like, I loved all your tips about time management, because that's definitely something that is super hard, just, for working all day. And so I'm a teacher, so I obviously, like, I can't, it's really hard for me to be
You're
like
not on your computer either, are you?
no, you can't be on Facebook, but like I'll go on my phone like during lunch and stuff, but I have 20 like 7-year-olds all day, so I can't be like sending messages or responding to messages or anything. So like in the morning I'll try and send out invites or just send out messages, but it's like random because it's like 5 a.m. and people are like, why is this chick messaging me at 5? But then they'll get back or whatever, but then it's like I can't keep up with them like throughout the day, and then
back in.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's okay.
I'm finding it hard to like, I'm trying to have the conversations, but like just trying to keep up with all that, plus like the posting. I don't know. Like, how would you suggest? I do an hour in the morning from like 5 to 6 usually, if I'm not having to do it. It just depends on my evening schedule. But by the time I get home and with my son and everything, it's just
Do you typically hit Success Club?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So Stephanie Chico, do you guys know Stephanie Chico? Or know of her? She's an elite coach. I think she's in the top 25. I think she's in the Millionaires Club. She never was someone who hit like Success Club 10 or anything like that. She was never someone who recruited like 20 coaches a month or some stupid numbers that people see and are like, oh my God. But she hit Success Club 5 every month, and she signed like 2 to 3 coaches every month for 4 years. And she made, I think, $80,000 in August. Just by being consistent with like this stuff, like we said. Like, it's just the compound effect and the consistency. So like, if you can't handle 10 messages, don't send 10 messages. You know what I mean? Like if it says 2 to 5 on this form.
Like
so if like 2 is all you can handle, then just do 2. It'll be sufficient. It's just, you have to do it every day is the thing. So, 2 a day is 60 a month. It'll work. Like as long as you're hitting Success Club, it's okay. you know? So it really depends what your goals are. Like, would you like to turn this into a full-time income?
Yeah, I think eventually, yeah.
And like, are you willing to go harder in the summer?
Yeah, so that's what my plan is, like July and August, to be able to put more time into it.
Yeah. So be
Here's,
really
like,
intentional with
something that then I can't keep up with once I go back. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's the thing. It won't be because you have a good upline. You know what I mean? So basically, you will bring people onto the team. Like, you don't have to have like a team page. Like, you don't have to run trainings. You don't have to do anything like that. Like, you just have to be there. You just have to have a presence. You just have to be there to show the support. So, like, if you're fearful that you're going to grow this team and then you're not going to be able to do like this kind of stuff, like, you don't have to. Like, Megan does that for you. Michelle Myers does that for you. Like, you know, I think a lot of times people think like, oh, I'm going to get to Diamond and then all of a sudden I have to run this team. Like, I have to be the boss. Like, I have to be the one in charge. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that. I mean, really, a solid Diamond coach is just you and two other people. It's just two people. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a Diamond coach, you have two people underneath you who are working the business, and one of them might be your spouse. So I think people find Diamond to be this like scary destination where all of a sudden they're going to have all this extra work, but like, no, you don't. It's not until like you start thinking about like the Star Diamonds. And even then, like, I'd say until you get to like 2-star Diamond, do you even necessarily need to start considering like running your own team and stuff like that. So, and because I know Megan and from what I know of Michelle, you're not going to be rushed into that. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't have an upline that supports you where you're going to want to start, you know, that kind of stuff because otherwise you don't have it. So really your focus should just be Success Club, being a product of the product, having a presence in your challenge group and supporting the people that you're bringing in each month. And it'll grow from there kind of thing. I have a bunch of teachers on my team, and then what a lot of them do is they do a power half hour in the morning and a power half hour at their desk before they leave school. So they like split it up. And then they work out in their classroom, and then they get their kids and they go home. And then if they feel like it, they log back in again at the end of the night, which is sometimes what I do too. Like if my husband's watching Sports Center, like I'm messaging people with my laptop on my desk because I don't want to watch Sports Center. But if he's like, want to watch a movie, like the stuff is closed and I'm watching a movie with my husband, you know? And I can do that without guilt because from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I checked in and did everything that I need to do. I will leave messages overnight. Like I'll message someone at 6 a.m. and if they get back to me at 7:30 and they're like, sure, I want a challenge pack. And if nap time goes to shit and I had plans with my husband that night, they might not get a message back from me till tomorrow. Like people will wait for links and that's okay. Like we're not on call. We don't get paid enough money to be on. We're not doctors. You know, we don't have to stop and leave our family to go sell a challenge pack. Like doctors need to stop and leave their families to go save someone's life. Like we don't have to do that. People will wait. If they reach out to you and they want to work with you, like they're going to wait. And if they're not willing to wait 10 hours for you, you don't want to work with that person. Trust me, because they'll be a psycho in your challenge group. You know what I mean? They'll be your problem for the next 21 days.
So, Meg, I know an issue that I have had, and I think that, you know, most of your team too, but they all, like, so our goals are all different. How could you, or how do you get your team to, like, you know, you're full-time 6-figure income earner, but you have girls on your team who want to still rock their day job, and that's totally cool, but they still want, you know, an extra income like that. How do you, but then there's people who think like, well, I don't want that. How am I trying to say this? So everybody's goals are different. Some people get, I think they get confused, or not confused. They get like, they don't want to go all in, but
Right.
All in can mean so many different things for everybody.
Yeah. So everyone has a different definition of success. Like For me, my definition of success this year is $200,000. And that's not the case for many people. And that wasn't the case for me a year ago. And that wasn't the case for me 6 months ago, even. So the first thing is what your goals are today, they can change. So be aware of that. I have a coach on my team, Lindsay Sanford. She's 2-star diamond. When she started, she did not want to coach in the beginning at all. And she referred me like 5 people. And one day I was like, you sent me like $350 in commissions. And she was like, okay, sign me up. And then she was just like, yeah, I have my day job. I have my family. Like, it's fine. I just like fit this in where I can get it in. And I told her, I was like, okay, that's great. Make sure, you're adding to your network every day and you're just posting consistently and keeping up with your messages. I'll run the town troops. I'll run the team page, offer them the shake discount because I wholeheartedly believe that that's like part of our job. Like if you're going to bring on challengers, you need to support them from beginning to end. And the end goal is to switch them over to a coach. So, you bring them in and then that's it. And I'm not saying you can't have a bad day. And I'm not saying that it has to be perfect all the time. Like if my son is sick, like I might not get my posts up and that's fine. Or like, honestly, I have days where I'm just like, I can't, like nothing is coming to mind. So I don't do it. So I just tell them to make sure that they know that like every day is not going to be perfect, do the best you can. Really what it's going to come down to is just being consistent on social media and just not letting it overwhelm you. And I think that over time you'll be pleased. Like I said, like Stephanie Chico, Success Club 5 every month for 4 years, $80,000 a month income. So, if you just take it for what it is and what you want to get out of it every day, and then just make that a priority because you should be a priority. So if you got into this because you just wanted a little something extra, that little something extra should be a priority. Just like getting your nails done once a week should be a priority. So if you need this for like your health and fitness, then, make it a priority because you need that for your health and fitness. If it's because you want to take your family to Disney World, make that a priority. Taking your family to Disney World should be a priority. So for the people that work full time that don't necessarily want to give up their day job, like, well, what did you want when you signed up for this? Did you want savings? Did you want spending money? Did you want Disney? Did you want a new car? Like, make that a priority. I'm not saying like, okay, my goal is I want to make $500,000 a year and be the Millionaires Club. I want to shred my mortgage on stage at Summit. But whatever it is that you decided to get into this for, like, don't forget that and don't make excuses as to why you're not going to get after it anymore, So if it's because you need the accountability, because you want to lose 50 pounds, like don't lose that coaching accountability piece and fall short of your goal. If it's because you want to save $5,000 to, I don't know, buy new furniture, don't forget that you wanted to do that for yourself and that you need to make this a priority in order to make that happen is kind of what I tell people. Always think about why when I tell my coaches when they're frustrated or overwhelmed or whatever, I say, why did you get into this? Are you seeing that through? Because you need to see that through, kind of thing.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
What tips do you have for building like your spouse's business? What do you tell your
Is he on your weak leg or your strong leg?
Well, not for me in general, but he's on my strong leg, but I'm just in general for my team.
If I sign a coach, right now I sign the majority of my coaches in my first business center because I'm pushing for 5-star. And I will build for them. So let's say I'm building for them on the left leg. I will encourage them to go emerald by putting their spouse on the right leg, kind of thing. Because what'll end up happening is if I signed you in my first business center, you have a strong leg already because I generate volume for that leg. Does that make sense? So if they have let's say this is just for the sake of examples. Let's say I build their left leg for them. They're going to bring like a coach on and they're going to put that coach on their left leg, and they're going to help that coach with volume because there's going to be volume there. But all this volume isn't going to mean shit if you can't match it on the other side. So you want to be able to be in control of that. So like my coach Angela builds my left leg. So all the volume for her whole team and all the volume that I've put on my left leg is there. It left me with diddly squat on the right. So I built my husband because I could control that. And I built him to diamond on my right, which helped me with my volume. And then when I got my second business center, I put that under my husband on the right. So I have my whole first business center and my coach Angela's whole business center just plowing on the left. And then I have my husband's whole diamond business. Well, he would be a 2-star diamond. I don't have enough active coaches in there, but he has 2 diamonds in his business center. And then I have my second CBC, which has a diamond in there as well. So I have just like a crap ton of volume, and I cycle like the max because I placed it like so perfectly, if that makes sense.
When did you really start building out his business? Like,
I started building his business like in November, not this past November, but the November before that.
When you were diamond?
I went diamond by getting him to emerald in November of 2014. So the 2 emeralds that I had then went on to become diamonds. And he is a lifetime 1-star diamond, but I can only manage to keep 10 and 11 active coaches in that business center, and you need 12 for 2-star. But I'm not necessarily worried about that because of my other centers and my goals. But so there's that. Or if I have a coach because a lot of coaches don't want to sign their spouse in the beginning, which is silly, especially if they're interested in working the business. I always encourage people to go find, like I always say, like emerald is a decision. You have to sit down at the computer and you have to go find someone who wants to run with you. Like you have to go find a little business partner. You have to go find someone who wants to get started with you. And when you find that person, and for me, it was my coach, Lindsay Sanford, you find that person, you sign them up, and then you sign up your spouse, and boom, you go emerald. But you go find that working person that's going to be willing to run with you. Now, there's a lot of coaches out there who aren't willing to do that. My husband's military. I don't even pay business service fees for him, so for me, it wasn't like necessarily a big deal. But there's coaches that the $15 is a big deal, unfortunately, even though in the long term it's going to hurt them. When that's the case, what I will do is have them sign their husband to go diamond with. So like if they have like 8 to 10 coaches, but 1 emerald on, let's say, their left leg, I'm like, dude, you have got to sign your spouse on your right leg. Because what's happening is there's carryover volume starts to come into play. I had probably like 25,000 in carryover volume when I had like just Lindsay and I wasn't building Jason yet, because she was just like selling away and like building her team. So my left leg, and Angela was building for me. So my left leg just had carryover, just like an insane amount of carryover volume. And that's another reason that, you know, I fell short of my 5-star elite goal is I cleaned up my volume. Like I started placing coaches all over my weak leg, even though it wasn't going to benefit me for like 5-star and elite. Like, so I have 4 diamonds in my first business center. I have 2 diamonds in my husband's business center and 1 diamond in my second business center. So I have a combined 7, but I'm not a 5-star elite coach. And I'm okay with that because I have an income that is more than like a 5-star elite coach because I built my organization based on volume. I wasn't going to leave 25,000 in carryover volume sitting on my left leg so that I could walk across the stage at the summit and get a Nike jacket. You know what I mean? As much as I want that goddamn Nike jacket because it looks really nice and I think I deserve it, you know, I built for income, not for rank. And I think that's an important piece of this. So if you've got carryover, that's something that you want to pay attention to. And just know that it'll happen. You know, you can have both. You can have it both ways. Like if your goals are income, then you build for volume. If your goals are like rank and recognition, then you build for rank and recognition. I wholeheartedly believe you can have it both ways, but you can't have them both at the same time. Like one's going to have to come before the other kind of thing. And Meg will talk about this all the time. She's like, so I should put that on my weak leg, right? And I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but yeah.
So I have 50,000 in rollover on my weak leg because I have, hustle and heart killing it on the other side.
Exactly. And that's not uncommon though. That's very common. And that's kind of what the first year of my business looks like,
Yeah. So, I mean, when you go into your business center or my business and look up my volume, you guys will see what we're talking about. So you'll have a number that says LV. There'll be numbers in a column and a number under RV. One's going to be way bigger depending on where you're placed in our downline. And we can actually, you guys can check that out and we can actually talk about that if you guys want to message me and figure out, like how Megan said, where to place your spouse if you haven't yet, depending on where you are in the downline sort of thing. So that would be good for all of you.
Build volume for yourself that way. So if you have your spouse signed up, so what I did was I would hit Success Club 5 for myself. And then I would go over and hit Success Club for my husband. And that helps with your volume dramatically. And then if I ordered shake samples or my own personal programs, like if I ordered hammer and chisel or, whatever you're ordering, you order that in your husband's account and it's going to throw volume up into your first business center and you're going to get paid off it. You'll get paid off it. Any essential packs, any refreshes, club memberships, random Shakeology drinkers, you can have that all go through your spouse account. And it's going to help you tremendously with volume. So I'm a huge advocate for the spouse account. If you want to make money in this business, it's the inevitable. You're going to have to sign your spouse because the coaches who make money are the ones who have the first CBC, the spouse account, the second CBC. Because when you start talking about moving volume, there's going to be a gigantic pay increase by doing it that way.
And I think I've shared with you guys too, my income tracker for last year. And when I started utilizing what Megan just said about running, anything but challenge packs under Brian or my mom until I had hit Success Club 5 for myself. And you can see that shift in income because of it. So definitely makes it double. Are you looking for them? What are you doing?
I was looking for my income breakdown. I have an income breakdown picture, but I can't find it. But it's pretty crazy. Oh, well.
I did one for Income and Success Club, so I'll post them in the team page again. They were posted a while back. But I don't want to keep Megan too much longer because it's already been an hour. But does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, just know that any single person on this call is capable. Anyone is capable. And I think it's really easy for people to look at the top coaches and think that they have something that you don't, but they don't. Trust me. I was the exact opposite of what you think a Beachbody coach should be when I signed up as a coach. And there was 1,000,001 reasons why I should not be a coach. I think I wrote it out on my team page. Let me see. I think I said why not. Find it. And share this video. Oh, okay. So this was something I shared with my team a while ago. I think it's important to remember and to remind you guys that there were a million reasons why I shouldn't have succeeded in this business. I could have made a million excuses for myself. So I want to remind you some things about me over the past 2 years. I had to ask Jason for permission to take my first challenge pack money out of our savings account to afford this when I got started. I initially signed up as a discount coach. I'm actually on my upline coach's weak leg. And together we created a badass power leg. I was working part-time when I started, full-time after I got started, and I now work at home. It took me 4 months to go Emerald, and I can now sign 2 coaches in a day if I really, really needed to. I did not hit Success Club my first month as a coach. My first challenge group was so terrible, I closed it early because I posted to give away a full-blown insanity program, and not one person even liked the post. My posts used to get no love. They absolutely sucked. I only had 700 Facebook friends. I now have 2,700 Facebook friends. After I went Emerald, my husband got laid off. I went back to work full-time night work, and during that time, I went Diamond. I was so tired. I was miserable. I was mean to my family instead of enjoying the time with them. 3 to 4 hours sleep is not sufficient with a little one running around. I was 50 pounds heavier. Oh, I love this one. I've dropped every rank I've ever achieved. Every single rank. When I went Emerald, I dropped. When I went Diamond, I dropped. When I went 2-star, I dropped. Every single rank, I've dropped it. I've missed every goal I set for myself. And I love this, and Meg will laugh about this. I dropped from 4-star Diamond to Ruby in November. Do you remember that? And everyone was making fun of me at dinner. Yes. I dropped from 4-star Diamond to Ruby because I made a huge mistake in my volume. To be a 4-star Diamond, you need at least 200 in PV in your first business center. And because I sell everything out of my second business center, I didn't pay attention to that. And I didn't have enough volume. So I went Ruby. And I actually was out like hundreds of dollars because I capped out at a Ruby in my team cycle bonus, which sucked. And I missed becoming a 2015 elite coach this year by a hair. So there were a million things that went wrong, or could have left me saying to myself that I'm not meant for this, or that I'm not good at this, but I refuse to believe it. I've plugged into every training that's been offered to me. I did my personal development. I practiced the 3 vital behaviors like it's my job. And I'm super intentional with how I work this business and spending my time and my effort focused on what moves it forward, not scrolling the newsfeed to see what everyone else is up to. I make team calls, live, a non-negotiable, and I plug into the National Wake-Up Call weekly. Every quarter in this business, I go back and reevaluate my time and my income. It seems I've added about another hour to my day's work right now. I spend about 5 hours a day on this business. I started with an hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours. I made sure I was getting compensated for my time always. To me, time is money, and I got into this to have time with my family, not time consumed by Beachbody. I space it out before Luca wakes up, while he's napping, and then sometimes in the evening. This is not relevant. My point is, I could have sat back and said, I can't afford this. I'll never be like my upline. I'm on a weak leg. They make money. I don't. I work. I don't have time. I have kids. I don't have time. My challenge group sucks. I don't motivate others. My posts suck. My friends don't like me anymore. The market is saturated, and so on and so on. I'll never be a 5-star Diamond coach. You get the point. But I didn't. You have 2 choices, win or learn. I've never made excuses for myself. I always choose to learn and grow. Because I chose to learn, I am now a 2015 Premier Coach, a 6-figure earner, a happy, healthy stay-at-home mom and wife. I never miss anything with my baby. I'm my own boss. I'm in the driver's seat of my own success. I afford things for my family we never dreamed possible. I help other people. I make an impact. And I wake up every day absolutely loving every aspect of my life. So to me, that's not so bad for actually having missed all of my goals. Will there be bumps in the road? Yes, you learn from them and you don't let them define you. So just know that like every coach out there struggles with something. There's no coach out there that thinks that this is like the easiest thing in the world, because working from home is actually kind of challenging, but it can be done. And when you figure out how it's going to work for you, it pays off like immensely in more ways than just your paycheck. It's like a really great thing.
Thanks, Meg.
Sure.
Appreciate it. All right, girls. So I hope that this has been super helpful for you guys. Sorry, my man voice is kicking in right now.
I want to go drink that watermelon beer.
Can you just bring it to the play date tomorrow or the park day tomorrow?
And we'll split it 3 ways.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
All right. So, what was I going to say? Check your volume, and it doesn't matter if you're coach, emerald, or above. Check your volume in your business and check in with me or Molly, or even if you're Molly's and you want to still check in with me, feel free to, and we could talk about where to place your spouse or your mom. Like I did.
Who's going to Summit?
Katie did too. So a lot of us going Summit, Nevada, Amy, Katie.
I'll see you guys there.
Paula, Carrie, yep, all of us. And so just keep in mind too, like I said, when Megan went last year, she had only been in the business for a little over a year and was a 2-star diamond. And 5 months later, she ended the year full-time earning income, combined 7-star. So
I didn't even know what elite was, and I didn't realize that 5-star diamond coaches got a bonus when I left Summit. I was like, oh, wow, there's so many more things I should be working towards. And Summit is going to knock your socks off. It's like the best. It's really awesome. It's fun.
I'm excited. I couldn't get that pedal tavern, guys. We don't have time, but
really, then we probably can't either, right?
Well, we had 8, the minimum, but there's like no time to do it. So
yeah, unless we missed did you do the same workout the Thursday 2:00?
Jericho. Yeah.
I know. Angie and I were saying the only way is if we skipped like the workout.
I know.
Which I worked out with them on the cruise, but not everyone else did.
Were they good?
Yeah, it's like insanity.
Oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't do brunch and a mimosa and then go do that.
Oh, sure. Well, so with the live workouts, like,
yeah,
you're kind of crowded. So, like, just have fun with it. Take pictures, make videos. Like, it doesn't have to be like a results driven.
It won't really be our real workouts, girls. So
yeah,
we'll just still have fun.
Yeah.
All right, Meg. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I really appreciate it, and I know this was super helpful to all of them.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel like we talked about a lot of things. I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys. It was a lot of information, but
I think it was really encouraging to know where you are and that you're doing the same stuff. That we're all doing the same stuff. Like that's what it's about.
Yep.
All right, girls. I'll put up the recording. Get in touch with me about your volume if you'd like to, and we'll talk soon. Okay? Oh, wait, can we do a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to do it. Command.
We do this every time.
Command Shift 4.
Yeah.
Command Shift 4. Okay. Command Shift 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
No, that gives you like a cursor.
Oh, that didn't do it. What happened? Oh, ew.
Yeah, it gives you like a cursor.
Command Shift 4.
And then you drag, and when you let go of the drag, it takes.
Oh wait, there's a better way to do that.
How?
Oh, what?
Where's Anne? We need her. Hold on.
know. Anne knows how to do this.
Josh always knows how to do this. Hold on. Oh, Command Shift 3.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Ready? And whoever's on the phone, smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Meg. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, girls. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Meg.